Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy MPAC here, and today I figured I might want to have a conversation with. Figure about talking about a topic for this particular video for today. So anyway, as you may heard, Nickelodeon has pulled the SpongeBob episode out of circulation, and that episode they pulled in particular was called Midlife Crustacean from season 3. And the reason why they pulled that episode was, according to Nickelodeon during an IGN interview, they pulled that episode because it's deemed not kid appropriate. Which, yeah, sure, they had that scene involving Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob, and Patrick go on a panty raid, but then that was one of the most funniest parts of that episode. Yeah, Midlife Appreciation was a good episode. And all, but do have one thing I want to say. That was not a good idea. Honestly, why pull an episode revolving around Mr. Krabs going through a midlife crisis, and instead ban an episode that takes suicide the wrong way? And the episode I'm talking about is One Course Meal, from season 7. Because that episode, Plankton gets scared from Mr. Krabs wearing a whale suit, and then tries to get himself hit by a bus, but and Mr. Krabs ends up winning at the end because he got away with it. So he got away with driving from the suicide. Now Plankton didn't get killed, but so Plankton got payback on, gave him some payback by singing about mine, which honestly was pretty clever. That Plankton is getting revenge on Mr. Krabs for almost causing him to nearly attempt suicide. But it ends with Plankton, by SpongeBob showing Plankton whales. Well, it's trying to be a projector, and Plankton gets scared of it and loses at the end, which means Mr. Krabs wins at the end, which really is infuriating for SpongeBob fans like me. Honestly, One Course Meal is the worst SpongeBob episode, and it has the worst message of the entire show. And yeah, they should really ban that episode instead of Midlife Crustacean, which, yeah, doesn't seem fair if you ban an episode revolving around a midlife crisis and trying to fit in and join in on a panty raid. Sure, they don't want kids to imitate it, but yeah, they don't want kids sneaking into someone's house and stealing their underwear. That's not appropriate. And don't do that. By the way, don't go on panty raids in real life. Just don't. That'll get you into a lot of trouble, and that'll get you. And if you sneak into your mother's house, if you're doing it, you'll get grounded for the rest of the night. So, don't do that. Don't do it at home. Don't ever do that, okay? And another thing. What was I going to say? So, that particular episode of SpongeBob Midlife Crustacean also got pulled from Paramount Plus. Its sister episode, The Greatest News, is only showing on there, and not Midlife Crustacean. And I could probably see why. They honestly think that the sister episode is more tolerable instead of Midlife Crustacean. Honestly, I didn't find The Great Snail Ice to be that good. Honestly, because SpongeBob has been driving Gary to he's been really, ignore the scenes, by the way. He's been pushing it too hard, and I won't explain that much. I'll explain it at a later point in time. But so yeah, Midlife Crustacean. Yeah, rest in peace for 2003 to 2021. So Nickelodeon, what is wrong with you? You banned an episode of SpongeBob, and this isn't the first time a network has banned an episode from circulation. This isn't the first time that a network aired an episode, and then years later they pull out a syndication of circulation due to some controversy. The Simpsons up season 3 episode Stark Raving Dad got pulled. And obviously it had Michael Jackson guest star in it. And then they pulled it after the after Michael Jackson's controversy and then the 2019 movie. It's a movie talking about Michael Jackson's controversy, but I forgot about the title. I think it was called Return to Neverland, or I think Escaping Neverland, I think. But honestly, yeah. So in response to that, the producers of The Simpsons pulled Star Raving Dad from circulation, from airing on both FXX, Fox, or Freeform. So, first will be Star Raving Dad, 1991 to 2019. So, yeah, and then there was a few Nickelodeon episodes. There were a few episodes of cartoons like Amphibia and La House that got pulled because of the topic of sickness. Probably because of the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on around. Because, yeah, I could probably see why. And I think they might have pulled the spin episodes Suds and Fungus Among Us too because of the topic of sickness. And I think Squiditis too. And honestly, they're going to be airing a new spin episode where Squid pretends to be sick in order to get out of work. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna pull out the last second because it talks about pretending to be sick. I'm not sure. I mean, back in January they pulled the episode Hiccup Plague. They were originally gonna air that on January 18th along with its sister episode Lighthouse Louie, but Lighthouse Louie instead aired instead of along. By My Two Crabs is aired along with Lighthouse Louie instead of Hiccup Plague. But yeah, probably because of the topic of pandemics, or probably because of the pandemic that is similar to. But it's just that episode Hiccup Plague is about SpongeBob getting the hiccups, not getting COVID. They don't even mention one word about the COVID-19 in the episode. Speaking of which, there's another episode which hasn't aired yet, which I don't think it's gonna air until after the pandemic, or after all the COVID stuff goes away, which is another season 12 episode, which is called Quarantine Crab. So that episode is about SpongeBob and the rest of the gang trapped in the Krusty Krab. They have to be put into quarantine all because of a terminal illness called clam flu. Trapped them in. Also, that episode is pretty good. And one Hiccup Plague. And yeah, it sucks that it won't be able to air. But I can see why they decided not to air it until further notice. It's kind of because those two episodes were produced before the COVID-19 pandemic. And they don't even mention one word about COVID in that episode. I mean, the entire episode is about SpongeBob and the rest of the... they were trying to figure out who carried the sickness, the clam flu. And they don't even mention one word about COVID in those two episodes. Quarantine Crab and Hiccup Plague. The Quarantine Crab is about the clam flu, and Hiccup Plague is about the hiccups. They don't put hiccup in the title of that episode for nothing. It's called Hiccup Plague. So, not COVID Plague. Yeah. Sure, they pulled those episodes from probably because of the pandemic. And Quarantine Crab's not on the season 12 DVD either, which I can see why. But Hiccup Plague still is. even though it didn't air in January like it was originally going to. So yeah, I think I talked about all I can in this particular video. So yeah, no, sorry, I was thinking about something else. So yeah, so at the end of the day, Midlife Frustration's not going to air anymore, and Quarantine Crab's not going to air anytime soon. Same with Hiccaplag. And I think, never mind. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel for more content and hit the notification bell to be notified about any videos I upload. Thanks so much for watching, and this is MPEC signing you off.